Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. My beautiful significant other is still sleeping, so I'm trying to be a little bit quiet, but it's Monday. It's time to go back to work. It's time to get after it. It's time to now go make all of this stuff happen. So last week we went through goals. We went through how to do all of the goal stuff. We went through a whole system yesterday about how to start organizing your day and your week and how to do your priorities. So I wanted to talk to you this morning about two kind of follow-up goal ideas. So we know the stages or the steps in order to accomplish anything. Know your outcome. Be very specific with regards to what that outcome is. Take massive action. Have sensory acuity. And then change your approach. If you're not getting closer to your goal, then do something different. Don't do the same thing over and over and over again. Have sensory acuity and do something different. If you want to speed it up, model. Find somebody that's done what you've done or want to do. Find somebody that has done what you want to do and then just do what they did. Copy what they did and you'll get the same result. Sow the same seeds, you'll get the same result. So I want to give you two ideas on this Monday morning. Number one, when we sit down and do goals, especially those of us in the Midwest, almost always when I've watched people do this and when I've done it myself, there'll be a moment where they go to write down a goal and then they decide to take the goal off the list because it's impractical. It's something like, I want to sing, or I want to learn how to paint, or I want to learn how to sculpt. And here's the thing. There's a piece of you that wants to do that. And if you don't ever fulfill that piece, you're never going to be the best you that you can be. And it'll give you benefits way beyond what you think, even if you think that it's impractical. So I would strongly encourage you to go back and look at your goals and put yourself in that place again, and then say to yourself, what is that area that I'm not attending to? So for Tony Robbins, when he talks about this, it was flying a helicopter. He always wanted to fly a helicopter, and when he started doing his goals and he started having a lot of success, that was something that he wrote down, was he wanted to take helicopter lessons. Well, it was a lot of money. It was impractical. And so he kind of looked at it and he said, I'm not going to do that. And then his mentor, Jim Rohn, told him, you should absolutely do this. There's a piece of you that needs to do this. Well, it was expensive and it did take time. But not only did it fulfill him, but it taught him balance, because in order to fly a helicopter, flying a helicopter is more, I'm told, I've never done this, is more like thought. It's more like you don't even really move. You have to stay incredibly balanced in order to do it. And then he tells this great story about all kinds of other lessons that it taught him. For me, it was, I always had a goal to buy a sports car. And I've had the goal since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I had a little version of a sports car, a little model that I actually still have. And I remember the first time I saw the car. I was in Florida when I saw it. And it was just something that I always wanted. Well, the time came for me to actually go buy one. And I felt really weird about it. I felt, am I really going to drive around it? Because it's expensive. Am I really going to drive around in this car? It feels like showing off. I feel like a jerk. I was like, I don't, I'm not going to do this. And I talked to my daughter, and my daughter was the one that said, Dad, you've always wanted a car like this. Go get it. So I did. And I still at times feel weird about driving the car. I really do. But the thing is when I go out and look at it, I'm like, I did that. This is a goal that I had forever and ever and ever, and then I achieved it. And so when I go out and I see that result, I'm able to go, I can do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing because I've done this thing. if you want to do something along those lines that's impractical, I guarantee that the benefits that you're going to receive from that are much more significant than you can ever imagine. If you want to paint, promise yourself as you're scheduling this time this week that you're going to figure out an hour where you can go start to paint. If you want to sculpt, if you want to take dancing lessons, if you want to try to learn how to sing, if you want to try to learn how to do stand-up, whatever. Now's a perfect time because we've all got all kinds of time. Figure out an hour where you can learn how to do that. There's everything on YouTube because I guarantee that that will open up a side of you that will make all of these other goals that you're working on, it'll benefit in every way. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is it's Monday. It's here in Northern Illinois. It's windy and not very warm. Life is short. You know, we forget, I think, a lot just how quickly life passes you by. And for those of you that have kids who are now adults, you can look back on that and say how true that is. Life is incredibly short. It goes by super fast. And it is so easy for us to get wrapped up in the nonsense that doesn't matter. And one of the things that I think can happen when, you know, you're dealing with a crisis like this or something along those lines, you know, if you lose a loved one, it'll get you to realize exactly what is important. The whole point of all of this is to wake up every day and look at what's important and ignore what's not. You know, one of the things that I've talked about before is a rocking chair test. Imagine you're at the end of your life and you're sitting on a porch in a rocking chair. It's a cliche, but you know, imagine you're 90 years old and you're sitting on a porch in a rocking chair and you're looking back at your life. The big thing I think that you want to have is no regrets. And, you know, there's two types of pains. There's the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. And discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. Don't have any regrets. Whatever it is that you want to do, go do it. There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing that's in your way. Anything that can be done that you want to do can happen, especially if you live in the United States of America. So focus on what you really want today and every day. Start your day with your goals. Start your day with your outcomes. Start your days with your roles. Remember what's important. Remember those things that are really significant and think about the long term. Imagine you're on your deathbed and you're looking back. You want to be able to look back at your life and say to yourself, I did everything that I wanted to do. I was the person that I wanted to be. I spent the time with the people that I loved. I had the conversations that I wanted to have. Don't have regrets. Be able to lay there and say to yourself, I did everything that I came here to do. Go have an amazing day, everybody. Make it a great Monday. It's a new week. It's a new day. Let's go get it.